What if the one person who could save a dying child already knew the answer, and nobody would let her speak? Leona Whitaker has a system. Mop the east corridor first while the floor is still dry. Hit the VIP wing by 11 p.m. before the on-call doctors do their rounds. Keep the cart close to the wall. Don't make eye contact unless someone speaks to you. 2 years at Bennett Medical Pavilion. She has never once been late. She has never once been loud. There is a particular kind of invisibility you earn when you are good at a job nobody wants. And Leona has perfected it. Tonight starts like every other. She rings the mop. The motion is automatic. Her hands know this routine the way fingers know a piano scale. All muscle memory and quiet repetition. The hallway smells like disinfectant and recycled air. The low hum of the ventilation system steady above her head. Then she hears it again. What she always hears, and nobody else notices. A faint clink, clink from somewhere above the drop ceiling of the VIP wing. Metal expanding unevenly against metal. The rhythm is wrong, too irregular for normal thermal cycling, too persistent to be random. She has been noting it in her log for 11 days, not to anyone in particular, just to herself. Under the clean towels on her cart, tucked flat against the bottom shelf, is a spiral notebook with a cracked spine. Inside, a hand-drawn schematic of the building's HVAC layout, corridor by corridor, floor by floor. She drew it over 2 years from memory and maintenance schedules and the labels on duct access panels. Notes in the margins mark where air goes stagnant, where filters run past capacity, where the return flow feels weaker than the blueprints say it should be. She is not supposed to know any of this. There is no job title that requires it. She knows it anyway. Then she hears something else. 2 nurses at the ICU station, voices low but not low enough. The Bennett kid is back in ICU. Doctors say maybe 72 hours. What's wrong with him? They can't figure it out. Headaches at night, nausea, lips going pale. Pulse ox sits at 99. Every scan comes back clean. Leona stops. Her hands stop first, then the rest of her. Pale lips, nighttime headaches, normal oxygen reading. She has heard this before. Not in a hospital. In a 1-bedroom apartment on Crane Street in January, with the windows sealed against the cold and a space heater running in the corner. She was 19. Her brother Eli was 14. She had told their landlord about the smell, something faintly sweet and wrong, 3 times over 2 weeks. He told her she was imagining it. She was not imagining it. She still refuses to turn on the heater in her own apartment, even on the coldest nights. The soft click of the switch feels like opening a door she can never close again. Leona reaches into the front pocket of her uniform. There is a key on a thin metal ring. Old, scratched, the bow worn smooth from years of being held. She does not look at it. She just holds it in her fist until her knuckles stop shaking. Carbon monoxide poisoning mirrors a dozen other conditions. Low-grade exposure builds slowly. The pulse oximeter cannot tell the difference between oxygen and CO. It simply measures saturation and reports a clean number, confident and completely wrong. She knows this. She knows this the way she knows the Crane Street landlord's excuse and the county coroner's report and the weight of Eli's hand in hers the morning she found him. She knows this, and she is a janitor, and the boy upstairs is Chase Bennett's son. The mop stays against the wall. She pulls a notepad from the cart. She writes 4 words and a sentence. Test COHB. Check pool heater exhaust. Then she crosses to the ICU desk and holds out the note to the charge nurse. The nurse glances at it, then at Leona's uniform. Your maintenance? Housekeeping. But the symptoms... Honey, we have 3 attendings on this case. Leona does not move. Carbon monoxide won't show on a pulse ox. It reads normal even when... I'll pass it along. She won't. Leona can tell from the way the woman slides the note under a clipboard. 15 minutes later, a woman in a dark blazer emerges from the administrator's corridor. Vanessa Cole, COO of Bennett Healthcare. Leona recognizes her from the all-staff email photos, the kind that gets sent when someone wants employees to know who signs the budget approvals. Vanessa is 40, sharp-shouldered, the kind of efficient that looks like it was learned from necessity rather than privilege. She picks up the clipboard, reads, pulls out the note. Her eyes find Leona across the hall. Leona watches her fold the paper once, twice, and place it in the waste bin beside the desk. Then Vanessa leans close to the charge nurse and says something Leona cannot hear. What she can hear, when Vanessa passes close enough on her way back down the corridor, is 4 words dropped just above a whisper. We have investors upstairs. That is all. Leona stays standing in the hallway for a long moment. Then she sits on the bench by the fire door and does not move. She is still there when an old man lowers himself onto the other end of the bench with the careful patience of someone whose knees have filed a formal complaint. You look like you lost an argument with a wall, he says. She says nothing. My name is Arthur. My wife's on the 4th floor. 22 days now. He does not say it like a complaint, just a fact, the same way you'd say it's raining. I used to do HVAC systems, 40 years. You spend 40 years with air ducts, you start hearing buildings the way other people hear music. He tilts his head toward the ceiling. This one's been running a little rough on the return side all week. I noticed when I came in Monday. Leona looks up. She says slowly, if a pool heater vent backdrafted into the main return plenum, then every room on that circuit gets a slow feed of exhaust. Not enough to trip the detectors fast, enough to build. He pauses. The renovation last spring connected the pool house mechanicals to the main system. I saw the permit pulled. I was here when they did the inspection. The contractor cut a corner on the exhaust separation. He says it plainly, not heroically. Just a man who spent his life paying attention to things no one else cared about. They threw away my note, Leona says. Arthur looks at her. Then he reaches into his jacket pocket and produces a laminated badge. Old, the photo slightly faded. The access level printed in small letters. Engineering and facilities. All areas. I haven't been to the 2nd floor yet tonight, he says. And there is absolutely nothing in his expression. She takes the badge. Security stops her outside the ICU at 11:42 p.m. She is escorted back to the corridor. The badge goes in a drawer. Someone calls upstairs to report an unauthorized access attempt by a housekeeping employee. The word unauthorized hangs in the air like a clinical verdict. Then the door opens, and Chase Bennett steps out. He is 35, dark circles under measured eyes, the kind of tired that comes not from one bad night, but from 3 years of bad nights stacked without resolution. He has his jacket off and his sleeves rolled to the elbow, which is the only version of undone a man like this allows himself in a hospital hallway. He looks at her, then at the guard, then back at her. What did she say? He asks the guard. Sir, she's housekeeping. She was trying to access ICU without authorization. What did she say? The guard repeats her note from memory, haltingly. Test COHB. Check pool heater exhaust. Chase goes very still. He asks the guard to step away. The guard hesitates, then steps away. 2 minutes, Chase tells Leona. It is not an offer. It is a trial. Inside, Caleb is small against the hospital bed, 8 years old and pale in a way that has nothing to do with his complexion. He has a drawing on the side table, a sun, orange and red, with extra rays coming off the edges in all directions. When Leona steps close, he opens his eyes. Something in the air of the room catches her first. A smell so faint it barely registers, almost sweet, like something burning at a distance, dull and organic. Her stomach turns before her mind does. Her hand finds the key in her pocket. Not again. I drew extra rays, Caleb says, his voice thin but certain, so the sun can fight the bad air. Something in Leona's chest does not break. It just holds very still. Then it's the strongest sun I've ever seen, she says. Caleb reaches out and takes her hand. His grip is loose but deliberate. You look like someone who knows, he says. Chase stands in the doorway and watches this, and does not say anything. Back in the corridor, Chase calls in the ICU attending. CO poisoning. Is it plausible? Dr. Farhan Reyes has been running this unit for 11 years. He does not enjoy being second-guessed, and his face shows it with professional restraint. The pulse ox reads 99%, Mr. Bennett. That's not consistent with... It's exactly consistent, Leona says. Her voice stays level. Pulse ox measures saturation percentage. It cannot differentiate between oxyhemoglobin and carboxyhemoglobin. In children with chronic low-level exposure, the reading stays normal even when COHB is above 20%. Reyes turns to her fully. You're going to teach me about blood biochemistry? I spent 15 years studying these panels. I'm not talking about blood, Leona says. I'm talking about the failure mode of infrared sensors when they encounter carboxyhemoglobin. The machine is only as smart as whoever programmed it, Doctor. Right now, it is programmed to miss exactly this. Reyes looks at her, then at Chase. Chase looks at Caleb through the glass. His wife had been misdiagnosed too. A different disease, a different failure, but the same architecture, a system that trusted its own instruments too completely, and a doctor who closed the chart before the real question was asked. He had lived with that for 3 years. He knew what it looked like. He stands there for 5 seconds without speaking. Then, if you're wrong, we lose time. If you're right, I can't even... He stops. Run the test. The results come back in 40 minutes. COHB, 31%. Reyes reads the number twice. Neither time does his expression suggest this is easy to absorb. Leona is in the corridor when a hospital maintenance supervisor arrives with a manila folder. She had found it herself 20 minutes earlier in the facilities log and handed it to him to formalize what it meant. Inside, a carbon monoxide exhaust warning from the pool house system, flagged 2 weeks prior. Acknowledged. Deferred. The digital signature reads V. Cole. Chase comes out of the lab consultation and sees the folder on the counter. He opens it, reads it once. Where is she? He says. It is not loud. Vanessa Cole is in the 4th floor conference room with 3 investors from a regional medical fund. She is in the middle of a sentence about Q3 patient volume projections when the door opens. Chase puts the folder on the table, does not sit down. You knew, he says. Vanessa looks at the folder. The investors look at Chase. The sentence she was in the middle of does not get finished. I grew up 30 miles from a hospital that closed when I was 9, she says. Her voice is steady, but something behind it is not. My mother had a cardiac event. The ambulance ran 40 minutes. She didn't make it. I have spent 15 years making sure this institution does not close. Sometimes that means weighing a small risk against a larger one. My son is 8 years old. The room goes quiet. I know, Vanessa says, and there is nothing after that. Back in the ICU, Caleb's monitors begin to trend wrong. His body, compensating for weeks of slow accumulation, finally stops compensating. The pulse ox still reads 99. Leona is the one watching the other numbers. His respiratory rate, his muscle tone, the particular way his hands go slack. She crosses the room and puts her hand flat on the door. 100% oxygen, she says. Now, and get hyperbaric on the phone. Dr. Reyes looks at her. For 1 second, the full weight of hierarchy and credentialing and years of medical training sits between them. Then, he looks at Caleb. He picks up the phone. The non-rebreather mask goes on at 12:19 a.m. Hyperbaric is prepped by 12:34. By 1 a.m., Caleb's numbers move in the right direction, slowly, then steadily, then with the kind of certainty that makes everyone in the room breathe again. Hyperbaric oxygen forces the CO off the hemoglobin molecule by molecule, Leona whispered to no one in particular. The words she had read 100 times in old textbooks were now saving a life. Chase Bennett sits down on the floor next to his son's bed. His back is against the wall, legs out straight. He is still in his dress shirt. He stays there for a long time. His hands began to shake. For 3 years, he had told himself he would never again stand helpless while a machine lied to him about the person he loved most. Now, the same nightmare had played twice. He pressed his palms flat against the cold floor until the tremor stopped. Leona sets a paper cup of water on the floor beside him. From the small cooler on her cart, the last thing she has to offer. Chase picks it up. He notices her hands before he notices the gesture. The knuckles reddened from chemical exposure, the skin rough at the joints, and the cup placed with such deliberate care that not a drop spills. He drinks, then quietly, "This is the first time in about 9 years a janitor has given me water instead of the other way around." It is not a joke exactly, just the truth, said plainly. She almost smiles. 3 days later, Arthur Doyle's wife catches Leona's hand in the hallway outside room 412. Her name is Eleanor. She has been here 25 days, and she looks like someone who has made peace with that. She holds Leona's hand in both of hers for a long moment. "He told me you're the girl who saved the sun," she says. Arthur stands slightly behind his wife, looking at the middle distance with great interest. "I just gave her a badge, dear. She did the rest." Vanessa Cole resigned the following Monday. She drafted the letter herself without being asked. In it, she requested that her severance be waived and the amount redirected to safety infrastructure upgrades. Chase accepted the second part. He found her a position at a healthcare nonprofit outside the system. Operations work, no life safety oversight. It was not forgiveness, exactly. It was something quieter than that. 6 weeks later, on a Tuesday morning that was not a holiday or a milestone, Chase Bennett stood at a small podium in the hospital's community room and announced the Bennett CO Safety Initiative, a fund to provide free carbon monoxide testing for low-income housing in 4 counties, partnered with county health departments and staffed by an advisory board that included, as its first member, a former housekeeping employee named Leona Whitaker. There was a short round of applause, nothing dramatic. Then Caleb broke away from the chair where he had been sitting with his drawing supplies and ran across the room and grabbed Leona's hand. "She's my hero too," he announced to the room, holding up the latest version of his sun. Bigger now, more rays, one corner labeled in green crayon, "For Eli," and the sun will never go out again. Leona bent down and pulled him into a hug, quick and fierce. When she stood back up, her eyes were wet. She did not try to hide it. Chase watched from the podium and said nothing. Some things do not need a sentence wrapped around them. On her way out that evening, Leona paused in the east corridor. Same floor, same time of night. The ventilation system had been replaced 10 days ago, and the air in the building was different now. Cleaner, somehow. The way a room feels after you open a window that has been stuck shut for years. She reached into her pocket, took out the key on the thin metal ring. She held it for a moment. Then she put it back. She picked up the mop. The hallway was clean already, but she started at the east end anyway, the way she always does. There is a particular kind of peace in knowing where to begin. Tomorrow, she would sign the papers to finish her environmental engineering degree. Tonight, she simply mopped. The same hallway, the same rhythm, but for the first time, the building felt like it belonged to everyone inside it. If this story stayed with you, if you have ever been the person in the room whose voice wasn't loud enough, or if you have ever known someone like Leona, share this with someone who needs to hear it today. And if you want more stories about ordinary people who changed everything with nothing but what they already knew, the next one is already waiting for you.